I guess on my hair, she look alright. And with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Wow, so serious. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here, and in today's video I'm bringing you all a tutorial, and I understand it's rather late, honey. I apologize. You all know I buy makeup way faster than I can use it, which is why I started my no buy. If you all want to see the details behind that no buy, you can check that video out right here. But today we was going through our collection and decided, Torrence, you never did a tutorial for the Kodanne palette by Adept Cosmetics, and now she's no longer available. That's the bad thing, that you can't buy this all at one time as a palette, but the good news is Adept Cosmetics has decided to bring back all of these shades as individual singles. And baby, look at this color story here. You all know I'm a jewel tone lover. Neutrals is nice, pastels, not so much to me. But if you ever wanted to get my attention, a dark jewel tone palette with some multi-chromes, you said you wanted my money, honey? Because I dang sure gave them to him. But just because I bought this palette does not mean she's worth the money, honey. There's plenty of brands out here that I love. They come out with products. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's in the middle. So if you want to know if you should get any of these 10 shades, you gotta wait to the end of the video. But if you want to know how I achieve this stunning, beautiful look here, honey, all you have to do is wait till after I show you these swatches. So this here is a view of the outer packaging for the Kodanne palette. I do believe Adept Cosmetics has said that this palette has sold out and they don't have any intentions of bringing it back. But as of right now, all shades are available as individuals. So if you only want 1 or 2 shades, you can go ahead and grab it. I was lucky enough to get this palette, so I'm going to go ahead and do a tutorial with it for you all today. But before we get started, I want to make sure I also show you the inside. This here is definitely a smaller palette for Adept Cosmetics. They are usually known for doing their 12 and 14 pan palettes. This one here only has 10 shades. There are 8 metallics and 2 mattes. Each shade does have a numeric number, so that's one of the main reasons why I haven't rearranged this palette. The only one that doesn't have a number is the shade that would have probably been known as ACI 30, and that one there is the namesake, which is Kodanne. And the fact that Kodanne is a green shade was the main reason I got it. First of all, honey, let's get into these swatches. When I tell you, swatching Adept Cosmetics shadows never gets old because they are always beautiful. Look at the flip on some of these colors, honey. Do you see the way they shift in the light, honey? Like, oh my goodness. The multi-chromes, gotta speak on it. First up, that second shade, so just based off swatches, it's my favorite so far. That shade is called, let me look at her again, ACI 27. Beautiful multi-chrome. The other one is shade number 7. I believe that is ACI 32. Another fabulous multi-chrome. Loving it. If I had to pick a third favorite just based off swatches, I would pick that very first shade, ACI 26. Just because to me, I prefer wearing colorful colors. But if I have to wear neutrals, I prefer something with a little dual chrome flip to it. And that pink to rose gold, honey, got me living. But all shades are beautiful. All shades are pigmented and swatch amazingly. So I cannot wait to get into this palette. Alright, you guys, before we get started, I just want to remind you, with all tutorials, all tools and products used will always be in the description bar below. I'll also leave my shade references for my foundation down there as well. But baby, it's time to get started because I'm just not waking up from a nap. It is Labor Day and I want to go visit my friends. So I'm like, honey, might as well do this makeup. We could be editing while we sitting over there chilling, having a good time, and possibly get this up for y'all the same night. But today we are going to be talking about the Kodanne palette from Adept Cosmetics. I managed to grab this palette while they were still selling it. It is discontinued and sold out now, but I believe each and every shade will be available as individuals. And I'm sitting back looking at her like, Torrence, you got some beautiful, colorful shades here. The only issue, the only thing I didn't think about is I don't see no transition shade in this palette. I'm like, the only two mattes I got are these two, and I honestly wanted to use both of them. And I'm sitting here looking like, Torrence, since you don't get no transition shades, you know what you got to do. Force one of them to be coming. And since ACM 33 is the lighter of the two, we're going to take that on a larger, fluffier blending brush, and we're going to buff that throughout our entire crease. And it looks like we're going to be using the Morphe 27 brush, so let's get her going. And because I know this shade is very bold and vivid, I'm going to load my brush very lightly, tap off the excess because I can always come back in for more. And just to see what the pigmentation is like, we're going to buff this throughout our entire crease, baby. Okay. And look at that. The fact that we had very little pigment on the brush, I am so glad I did this way. Because baby, if I would have loaded her up the way I normally wanted to, she might not diffuse as easily as I need her to. And of course, I'm going to go in with more than one layer. I just really needed this first layer to be as soft as possible so I can see what kind of pigmentation I'm dealing with. I'm going to load my brush up on this second one. And just do one more because I want more pigmentation. Baby, you see how bold and vivid she didn't get that fast? Hoo-wee. We're going to make sure we diffuse our edges. And honey, she's already matching this shirt. That's why I grabbed this shirt. I knew for sure I was going in with this pink matte. I wasn't sure about everything else, but this one color had to get it. And she built up really fast on the eye there. Only thing is, if I weren't trying to use this as a first impressions, I would probably honestly go in with an even smaller brush, build that color up even deeper in the crease just to see how far she can go. But because we know we're only using her as a transition, we're going to keep it here. And I'll be right back after I do this on the other side. Now that we have our transition shade going, the only other matte shade we have left is ACM 34 here. We're going to take this with a smaller blending brush, and at first we're going to see what she looks like on the outer V. If the shade doesn't look muddy or anything, we'll take her throughout the entire crease. If so, we'll only keep her on the outer V, and then we'll just go ahead and figure out what to do after that. But we limited today. We got to try what we can. Yes, this shade here picks up a whole lot easier. So we gonna definitely tap a bunch of that off because baby, we not risking that mistake. So we gonna start this outer end as low as we can. We're gonna buff her up to see what she trying to do. And I think she gonna show up for us, y'all. So if that's the case, we're gonna go ahead and buff her all the way through. I was scared at first. And because we don't have much product on, the first layer is going to be more about blending. Then we can build on that second layer. Oh yeah. It would have been safe to go ahead and load my brush on that first one, but I wanted to be safe. Because I ain't never worried about trying to make sure. I'm never purposely trying to do a bad look. So by taking my time, I can worry a lot less. This time we're going to go ahead, try to see if we can pick up the kick up in the pan instead of tapping off new product. And then give it one nice tap. Start low again. Buff her out. Boom, boom, bam. Yes, yes, ma'am. Diffuse those edges, baby. That green is trying to come through, but you see that hot pink is still peeking up and out. I just wanted to make sure I got something to cut to my crease. Once we have most product off the brush, you can slightly raise the edges, just diffuse those lines. As long as we don't cover up that pink at the top, we good to go, because we're going to definitely cut this crease, honey. Deep and dark as that is, we're going to have to. Then we're going to pick up product on one side, just pack that in, cover up the outer V, and baby, you see she did that with one layer. Oh yeah, she's a pigmented one. She honestly shows up slightly cooler on the eye than I was expecting, but she looks cool toned in the pan to me. Okay, look at her. Want to make sure? Yes, ma'am. You see how that one shade just switched up the color on, baby. I will be right back. All right. Now that we have that done, I need to grab my NYX glitter adhesive because, baby, we got to cut our crease. Got that bad boy. Got my, which one is this? We're going to use our Morphe M421 brush today. And we're just going to squirt some of this on the back of the hand. Because I've already filled in my outer V, I'm going to try to avoid covering that. And we just want to cut the front half. And we got the product here. I like to start near the bottom just to get that excess product down. And then I cut my crease and come up and grab extra product as needed. Start low and then we just cut higher as desired. And once I believe I have what area I want, I make sure I come down and get close to the lash line because I will forget that gap of space, and then baby, you'll see my skin tone peeking right out through that eyeshadow. And I want to try not to get that outer V work covered. So now I got to figure out two shades that I want to put on the lids, and the thing is, I'm going to have to go after the two that was holding my attention from the very beginning. That first one, ACI 26, I got to use her, and ACI 27. I believe ACI 27 is a multi-chrome, and so I'm debating, do I want to put her toward the front or toward the back? Just to be dramatic, we're going to go ahead and put ACI 27 near the front and then put the lighter shade toward the back. I know that's usually backwards from what other people do, but we're going for the drama today. It don't make no sense how easily this color picked up on this brush. I am telling you, she is looking gorgeous. So I cannot wait to see what she's going to look like on this front half. So let me go ahead and get a hat. Oh wait. Full pigmentation off the jump, sis. Oh, and I'm telling you, the shift on that color is so pretty because I'm looking at it right now. In my mirror right here, it's green. On camera right there, I am seeing that reddish color jump through. So I'm like, oh, let me get this on the other side real quick so y'all can see this flip when I turn my head. Okay, and I'm not sure if it's even showing up right here on the brush, but baby, on my eyes, when I turn, you can see that color is shifting. Baby, she is gorgeous. Got to get into this next color. Let me wipe this brush off. Okay, I cleaned off my brush as best as I could. Used the other side to pick up ACI 26. And we're going to put this on the outer end here. And we're going to put that between ACI 27 and this ACM 34. We want to pack it down first. Then afterwards we can go out and diffuse and blend those edges. Okay. She's coming off a lot shinier, but a lot chunkier than the multi-chrome. And now that we got that on there, I'm gonna pick up a little more and I'm gonna diffuse this toward the front to help give me a seamless blend. Going toward the back where it's matte, it'll be a little more difficult because this shade is a chunkier shimmer. But you see she's going on with no issues. And I believe she's at least a duochrome. So she got a flip of her own going on. Look at that. Look at those colors, baby. And you see how because we blended that in here, when you turn this way, they almost look like one color. It isn't until you turn this way that you see how much more shine you get on the outer end that you realize, wait, she's her own individual shade, sis. Look at that. Look like one color. Boom. No, sis, I'm my own. Let me go ahead and do this on the other side because baby, she looking gorgeous. All right, you guys, it looks like we have everything we're gonna do for the upper half of the lids. What I'm gonna do now is cut away, finish off the face, and when I come back, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna finish off the lower lash line. Alright you guys, we are back, and before we continue on with this tutorial, I want to tell you about a few of the products I used off camera. Once again, all tools and products will always be in the description bar below for all tutorials. And most of the items that I use today are my Holy Grail favorites, so I don't have to mention those. But there are a few items that I did switch up just so I can know exactly how the formula is. One of the first ones is the gloss. I don't know when and where I bought this gloss. More than likely it was from Ulta because I don't recall ever purchasing directly from her website. This is the Adept Cosmetics High Gloss in the shade Yes Girl. As you can see, she has a flip to her and it reminded me of the eyeshadow right here we have. What shade is that? ACI 26. Because I'm like, she looked like a rose gold flip. So I'm like, okay, if we have an eyeshadow color like that, let's go ahead and try that for the gloss. Once again, this is the shade Yes Girl. She's a nice gloss, but considering the fact Kylie Cosmetics has since rebranded and things, I'm not sure if they still have this formula or this color. But I got her in my collection, so I'm like, might as well use her. For blush, Nabla Skin Glazing in the shade Truth. I remember getting these from Ulta when they had them half off. I bought a lighter shade and a darker shade. This shade here, Truth, is the lighter of the two. And it has a nice pink tone to it. I saw the shirt, so I'm like, okay, Torrence, we want to test this one out first before we test out the darker shade. And I think you can see on camera that there is a nice pink color there. But it's not till you actually turn that you see how strong that sheen is. This is a glowy blush. Depending on your complexion, you may even want to use it as a highlighter, but I'm really liking her because she's buildable, she's blendable, and she's not a strong like highlighter beam where if you put it across the cheek, it'll look weird. It'll just give you a healthy glow. But before I tried that one out, I wanted to try that one out before I went into this darker shade here. Never use this one here. This one is called Adults Only, but I wanted to make sure that this was a buildable formula before I messed up my whole look, have this red streak going across the cheek. So now I'm confident I'll be able to go in and use this shade in the future. For the lower lash line, I am wearing my Urban Decay Glide On Eye Pencil in this shade Stash. I wanted something that was green, but I didn't want something that was so loud that it would compete with the rest of the eye look. I'm not even sure if you can tell that's green on camera. In person, when you first put it on, it almost looks like a dark brown, but I can really tell this is a green. I did not want to use, what was that one that I love? Where is she? Overdrive. Baby, that's my favorite green one, but I'm like, I wanted something different. I wanted to test her out. More than likely, I would use this with grungier looks, but because I try to collect all the green eyeliners from Urban Decay, I wanted to use that one. The last thing is our concealer. I have a tutorial up for this, so if you want to see my first impressions, you can check that out right here. This is the Sephora Best Skin Ever Concealer. Have mine in the shade 29Y. I'm guessing I'm really liking her because I'm still using her, honey. I'm like, we're going on what? 2, maybe even 3 weeks of constant use of just this concealer. So it's like, yeah, Torrence, you might have to go out and get you a lighter shade because although she looked nice and bright here, to me, this is a natural bright day. This is not that over the top, give me what I want. So I may have to go in and get me a lighter shade of this, but I'm sitting back looking like, Torrence, what else we got to do? Finish off our face. We need the spray, and I can take these little pieces out, but I had to lift them up because as y'all can see, we got a new hairstyle. Trying out 2-strand twists, and I am loving them. The only thing is, I'm not used to hair hanging down in my face, so I'm like, I didn't want to get foundation and stuff on it, so we're going to finish our tutorial, and when we get through, we can take those out. But I'm like, lower lash line. Grab our palette, because baby, we only got 2 mattes. And because I don't want this look to be any more darker than what it is, I'm just going to take my larger pencil brush in this shade ACM 33. We're going to use that to buff that out all over the entire lower lash line. And from there, after I see it, I'll decide what we'll do next. I really want to take a push liner brush after that and take ACM 34, but I want to make sure she's not going to be too dark, so we'll decide when we come back. And we're going to just tap off our rougher number 26 brush. We're going to buff this out on the entire lower lash line, starting on the outer corner. We want to make sure we look up and get that going. And baby, she is looking real pretty down there. And I want to make sure I connect this on the outer end. And after I put this first layer down, I won't mind going in with a second layer. I just want to take my time and go slow. For the second layer, I won't mind starting in the front since I'm already confident with my blend. Buff her up and out, says yes ma'am. And honestly, I'm looking at this like she's so bright and so pretty. I'm not even sure I want to add another color. Oh yeah, because that pink is sticking out and she is beaming on camera. Yes ma'am. Let me just connect this a little more right here on the outer end. Oh yes, honey, she is looking pretty and vivid on that lower lash line, so I'll be right back. Honey, I'm looking down at this like adding that dark green to the bottom will give me more depth and dimension, but I am really liking how loud and bright that pink is, so I think we're gonna go ahead and skip that step and we can get to highlighting our inner corner and our brows. And I'm sitting back looking like, Torrence, ain't too many more shades left to get everything popping. So what I think we gonna do, just because they loud and because they there, I'm gonna take the namesake of this palette. This here is Kodanne, and we're gonna use this to highlight our inner corner, just to help bring some of that matte green out. Then what we're gonna do is take the shade ACI 31, and we're gonna use that to highlight our brow bone, just because we have a pink transition shade, and I want that pink to come up and look a little more diffused. So I think we'll just take those two and see what we got coming. First up, we have the shade Kodanne, and we want to use this to highlight that inner corner, and baby, y'all know I like it beaming, so we got to see what she working with. Let's get in there and bam, yes ma'am. And I'm gonna connect that on the top and the bottom. Baby, I know y'all see that on camera because I can see that. Try to connect that at the very bottom just a little bit. Yes, auntie, look at that green, yes. Greens and pinks go together so well to me. And hunty, ACI 31, go in very carefully because I picked up the tiniest bit, or so I thought, and now my brush is coated. So this brow bone highlight is about to be popping. So I'm gonna have to lay a little bit down on this half first. Ooh! I know y'all can see that line right there. Oh, honey, I done got more than what I bargained for, so we gotta put some of that product down. And then we gotta come back in and buff her out, cause boo, oh, look how vivid that is. Oh, I ain't mean to do that. I ain't mean to do that. Let me hurry up and buff her up, out, and down. Okay, so what we have to do is soften that edge, meaning we have to buff and bring that down where it just looks strongest right underneath the arch, but then it seems to diffuse as they get closer to these matte shades. And I only want to take it about halfway up to the front, don't want to take it to the back. Okay, that looks a lot better, but you can tell, honey, that is a pink brow bone highlight, but look at the way she diffused. Like when you stare straight forward, you barely see it. It ain't till I turn and it go bam. Yes, ma'am. Let me go ahead and diffuse this and I'll be right back, y'all. Alright, you guys, I'm sitting back looking like, okay, we done used 6 shades already. I don't see anything else left to do, so it's time to grab our sprays to set everything, because you know I'm about to grab mine. Fix Plus to give us a glowy do. All-nighter, so things will last all day. Cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. I'm going to give this a few more moments to dry and I'll be back to give you all my final thoughts. And this is the final look. I want to go ahead, give you all a full face view of things before I give you all my final thoughts. And I'm here to tell you all, this look is absolutely fabulous, honey. Are we both? Honey, y'all know I love me some Adept Cosmetics. I love their palettes, that's no secret. The thing is, when I first got this one, The reason she went to the back of the drawer is because I looked at the mattes and I was like, okay, a pink, a green. And it always told me, Torrence, in order to get a complete look that you're going to be happy with, you are always going to be reaching for other palettes. You're going to want either something to deepen up this pink or transition shade for this green. You're not going to always want to use those two together. The metallics, I wasn't worried about. I knew those were going to be beautiful, but it was always, how are these mattes going to perform? And especially, how are they going to perform together? Sis, look at this and tell me this is not pretty. And you all know, I have a vivid imagination, honey. I don't mind. I would take any two colors, throw them together, see what happens afterwards. But I'm looking at this like, the shift on that multi-chrome, honey. That pink for that brow bone highlight, that inner corner. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And I'm not gonna lie to you all. Do I think she's worth the money? Absolutely. The problem is this palette didn't get quite the hype that the brand may have expected. So if you want all 10 shades, you are going to have to purchase them individually. You won't get the palette. But I still say every shade in this palette was beautiful. Multi-chromes are my favorites. So ACI 27, ACI 32, those two are automatically going to just draw my attention because I look at it as, if I can put one color on the lid, but 3 colors show off to the eye, I get more energy, more effort for the work that I put into it. Same thing with the duochromes, like this one here. If you're going to give me 2 colors when I put one down, that's more bang for my buck, honey. It feels like I didn't have to put in so much energy and effort. And when I look at my eyes, honey, the way those colors are shifting, the way they blended into each other, is fabulous. So if you are someone who likes darker colored, because these are some, you know, deeper shades, the lightest shade in this palette will be that first one. This is the palette for you. If I could just tell you all, how can I put it? Once again, my 3 favorite shades seem to be the 3 that I used today. The 2 multi-chromes, ooh, I gouged it. I don't even know if y'all can see it. I just accidentally gouged this shade right here. Y'all see that nail print right there? So we're going to go ahead and quit being foolish and we're just going to let y'all know. If I could tell you all which 3 shades to get, just simply because I love them all, grab your multi-chromes, ACI 27, ACI 32. If you're looking for something more metallic, ACI 26 and Kodanne are absolutely beautiful. But what I was not expecting was ACI 31 to be as fabulous as she is. I'm someone who tends to avoid pink shadows, so that's probably why I wouldn't recommend that one to you all as a favorite. But you all saw how pigmented she was when I put her down, how beautifully she blended out. So she is a fabulous shade. It's just, I tend to prefer greens and blacks and, you know, things like that. And if I had to choose, I would take a purple over a pink any day. So she is fabulous. She's just not one of my favorites, but there isn't a single dud in this palette. Even with the mattes, me personally, because colorful things are my, you know, I love colorful mattes. I think I have more colorful mattes than I do neutral mattes. I personally didn't see the need to have these 2 shades in my collection here. They are beautiful, but I know I could dupe those out any other place. Those multi-chromes and those shimmers, it's hard to dupe one of those from Adept, honey. So I'm telling you all, if you did not get this palette, please go out and get the singles. If you have this palette, pull her out and use her because she is fabulous. I'm looking around like, Torrence, is there anything else you need to check up on? No, not right now, but I don't even want to waste this product that's on my fingernail because that color is so beautiful. I just want to take her and do something else with her. But I still got to take promo pictures for this video, so we're going to end this video right here. Actually, what I'm going to do is go ahead and just wipe this on the back of my hand right here just to see what that color looks like. I don't even think y'all going to be able to see that tiny swatch that just came off on my hand, but you can see that tiny amount still is giving a shift on camera. I know I can see it here. I'm not sure if it's showing up there, but we blabbing now and we talking about tiny swatches when you all seen the whole the full thing. So I want to go ahead and end this video here. I want to make sure if you all did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also leave me a comment down below letting me know if you all have this palette or if you all plan on picking up any of those singles. I believe for Labor Day, Adept Cosmetics is having a sale, so you may want to check them out. I'll make sure I leave their website in the description bar below. I'm trying to sit back and see, like, Torrence, is there anything else? Oh, almost forgot, honey. Make sure you all are watching my channel on Wednesday. Wednesday, September 7th is my birthday. I will be posting another video from Adept Cosmetics on Wednesday, as well as giving you all the details on how to enter into that giveaway. I want to see, I think I got the package right here just to give you all a sneak peek. For that giveaway, I still have my Pat McGrath box here. So, inside, as you see, Pat McGrath Labs, I got a crap ton of samples from all different type of stores that I've been buying them for. I've been saving those up for you all. But you all will get 2 Busy Art palettes. Those are both matte palettes. And we also have 2 Mothership palettes. I have Mothership, I don't want to risk dropping them, Mothership 5 and Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2. Those will go out to 1 lucky winner. You want to know how to win those? Once again, all you will have to do is stay tuned for Wednesday's video for my birthday, because I want to share it with you all. You all have been so supportive, so loving, and honey, who better to spend it with than you all, because you all love me and I love you. So I'm going to put this down to the side before I drop her. We're going to come back up, get back in view, and make sure y'all see me. And I guess that's it. So with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.